In 2024, Thailand's gold trading became so massive it literally destabilized their national currency. Criminals were exploiting a perfect loophole, buying gold bars with illicit cash, converting them to cryptocurrency, and laundering billions across international borders. Most governments would have either banned everything or looked the other way. Thailand did something far more calculated. They built the world's most sophisticated financial surveillance system, one that tracks both physical gold and digital assets in real time. And somehow, this crackdown is making Thailand one of the safest places for legitimate investors to enter the digital asset market. This is the story nobody's talking about. For centuries, gold has been the bedrock of financial security in Thailand. It's embedded in the culture. Thailand is one of the world's largest gold markets, with trading volumes that rival entire stock exchanges. But there's a dark side to this golden tradition. The same features that make gold attractive for storing wealth, its anonymity, portability, and lack of paperwork, also make it the perfect vehicle for money laundering. Then cryptocurrency arrived, and criminals discovered the ultimate financial loophole. Step 1. Purchase gold with illicit cash, avoiding banking systems. Step 2. Sell the gold through legitimate dealers. Step 3. Convert the proceeds to cryptocurrency. Step 4. Transfer the crypto offshore, beyond the reach of local authorities. By late 2024, the situation had spiraled out of control. At peak periods, gold-related transactions accounted for more than half of all US dollar transactions in the entire country. The speculative trading was driving the Thai Baht to artificial highs, crushing the nation's export competitiveness and threatening its tourism industry. Thailand faced a choice: crack down and risk stifling innovation, or do nothing and watch their economy become a money laundering hub. They chose a third path, one that's now being studied by governments worldwide. Before we explore the surveillance network, we need to understand what Thailand is actually building on the innovation side. Bitcoin promised a financial revolution, decentralized money beyond government control. But it came with a massive problem. If you own Bitcoin, you're entirely responsible for its security. Lose your password? Your money vanishes forever. Fall victim to a hacker? There's no bank to call for help. For everyday investors, this is terrifying. For institutional investors, pension funds, endowments, insurance companies, it's completely unacceptable. These institutions manage billions in retirement saving. Thailand's solution? Remove the complexity and make crypto investment as routine as buying a mutual fund. In June 2024, Thailand approved its first spot Bitcoin exchange-traded fund through One Asset Management. Here's how it works. Instead of purchasing Bitcoin directly and managing complex wallet security, investors buy shares in a regulated fund. The fund holds the actual Bitcoin in professional custody, cold storage, multi-signature security, institutional-grade protection. The same level of security used for national gold reserves. These shares trade on the stock exchange of Thailand, just like any other security. Familiar, regulated, insured. But Thailand's ambitions extend far beyond Bitcoin. By early 2026, the Securities and Exchange Commission plans to approve exchange-traded funds for Ethereum, Solana, and diversified cryptocurrency baskets, essentially index funds for digital assets. Large financial institutions required to provide continuous liquidity starting in 2026. Their role is to prevent the extreme price volatility that has plagued cryptocurrency markets. The SEC is working to officially classify digital assets under the Derivatives Act, which would enable cryptocurrency futures trading on the Thailand Futures Exchange. This gives sophisticated investors the tools they need to hedge positions and manage risk. Now we arrive at Thailand's most innovative move, one that bridges thousands of years of tradition with cutting-edge technology. Thailand took a smarter approach. They kept gold and cryptocurrency as distinct asset classes, but digitized gold using blockchain technology, gaining the benefits of both. In May 2025, a fully licensed platform called MaxBit launched Tether Gold, ticker symbol XAUT, becoming Thailand's first SEC-approved tokenized gold service. The concept is elegant in its simplicity. Each digital token represents direct ownership of 1 troy ounce of physical gold, held in secure Swiss vaults. The backing is 1-to-1. No fractional reserves, no paper gold, just real metal. Think of it as a digital certificate of ownership.
The gold remains safely stored in Switzerland. You own a blockchain-based token that proves it's yours. You can trade that token 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, with transactions settling in seconds. If you ever want the physical gold, you can redeem your tokens for actual bars. Traditional physical gold has inherent limitations. Cannot be traded instantly outside business hours. Difficult to divide into smaller denominations. Expensive and risky to store securely. Transportation is slow and costly. Tokenized gold solves every one of these problems while preserving gold's fundamental stability and intrinsic value.
Remember those criminals using gold for money laundering? Now, every purchase, every sale, every transfer of tokenized gold creates an immutable digital trail. Thailand isn't stopping with gold. The Securities and Exchange Commission and Bank of Thailand are running regulatory sandboxes to test tokenized real-world assets, or RWAS. Government bonds, corporate debt, real estate, carbon credits, intellectual property rights, any asset with verifiable value can potentially be digitized, fractionalized, and traded on blockchain infrastructure. By 2026, Thailand aims to operate a comprehensive marketplace for tokenized real-world assets, combining the efficiency of blockchain with the stability of traditional investments. Thailand has built sophisticated infrastructure for digital assets, but infrastructure alone doesn't guarantee adoption. To channel activity into regulated platforms, Thailand deployed one of the most powerful tools in any government's arsenal: tax policy. Beginning January 2025 and extending through December 2029, Thailand is offering a complete 5-year exemption from capital gains tax on cryptocurrency trading profits. Zero tax on gains. But there's a critical condition: the exemption applies exclusively to trades executed on licensed, regulated Thai exchanges. It's a masterclass in behavioral economics. Thailand isn't forcing compliance through prohibitions, they're making compliance so financially advantageous that choosing unregulated platforms becomes economically irrational. To prevent excessive speculation, the Securities and Exchange Commission has issued guidance suggesting that even aggressive investors should limit digital asset exposure to 4 to 5% of their total portfolio. It's the regulatory equivalent of saying, dessert is allowed, but it shouldn't be your entire meal. This represents regulation with a sophisticated touch, powerful incentives instead of heavy-handed prohibitions.
Now we reach the most controversial element of Thailand's strategy, the aspect that makes this either brilliant or deeply concerning, depending on your perspective regarding privacy and state power. In January 2026, Thailand's Prime Minister, Anutin Charnvirakul, launched an aggressive campaign against what he termed grey money, funds that flow through ostensibly legal channels but originate from criminal activity. And the government did not approach this tentatively. First, they targeted the gold market.
Under existing regulations, gold purchases exceeding 2 million baht, approximately $64,000, must be reported to authorities. Criminals circumvented this through a technique called smurfing, dividing one large purchase into multiple smaller transactions, each below the reporting threshold. Buy 50 smaller amounts through different dealers instead of one large purchase, and every transaction stays invisible to regulators. Thailand's solution? Slash the reporting threshold to a much lower level. The exact figure hasn't been publicly announced, but sources indicate it will be substantially reduced. They're also considering implementing a specific tax on digital gold trading platforms and mandating comprehensive audit trails for every gold transaction. The Anti-Money Laundering Office, AMLO, now serves as the centralized hub for all gold transaction data, employing real-time monitoring algorithms to detect suspicious patterns. The cryptocurrency sector faces equally stringent oversight. Thailand is rigorously enforcing what's known as the travel rule, an international standard requiring cryptocurrency platforms to collect and share identification data for both senders and receivers in every transaction. Personal self-custody wallets remain legal. You can still own and control your own cryptocurrency. But the moment you want to move funds into or out of a regulated exchange, full identity verification becomes mandatory. Cryptocurrency's founding promise of pseudonymous privacy? Effectively eliminated within Thailand's regulated ecosystem. Thailand is systematically closing unlicensed cryptocurrency exchanges operating within its jurisdiction.
They've also begun cracking down on financial influencers, providing investment advice without proper licensing, a problem that has led to numerous frauds and scams throughout the crypto industry. But the most ambitious and controversial element is what comes next. Thailand is constructing a national data bureau designed to integrate financial information across every major asset class: traditional banking transactions, gold purchases and sales, cryptocurrency trades, real estate acquisitions, stock market activity, even international wire transfers. The objective is to create real-time risk profiles for individuals and businesses, using pattern recognition and machine learning to flag suspicious activity. If someone withdraws large amounts of cash, purchases gold, converts it to cryptocurrency, and transfers it to an offshore exchange, the system should detect and flag this sequence automatically. But why implement surveillance on this scale? The answer lies in the sheer magnitude of the problem. At peak periods, gold speculation accounted for more than half of all US dollar transactions in Thailand, more than the country's entire tourism industry or its massive manufacturing exports. This wasn't just a crime problem, it became an economic crisis. The speculative activity drove the Thai baht to artificially high levels, making Thai exports uncompetitive on global markets and pricing the country out of tourist destinations. So this crackdown isn't merely about stopping criminals. It's about Thailand regaining control of its own economic destiny. But it raises a fundamental question that democracies worldwide are grappling with. How much financial privacy should citizens sacrifice in exchange for economic security and crime prevention? Thailand's experiment represents more than a local policy initiative. It's a potential blueprint for how nations can build trusted digital asset economies in the 21st century.
Most countries have adopted one of two polar opposite strategies: either hostile opposition banning or severely restricting digital assets through fear of capital flight and loss of monetary control, or permissive acceptance letting innovation flourish with minimal oversight, dealing with fraud and crime after the fact. Thailand is attempting a third path: regulated innovation with serious enforcement. The ETFs and tokenized assets provide institutional investors with safe, compliant entry points. The tax incentives channel activity into regulated, transparent platforms, and the surveillance infrastructure ensures that bad actors cannot exploit the system for illicit purposes. If successful, Thailand could become Southeast Asia's answer to Switzerland, a trusted financial hub where traditional and digital assets coexist under clear, predictable regulatory frameworks. If unsuccessful, it could serve as a cautionary tale about government overreach, the limits of surveillance, and the unintended consequences of eliminating financial privacy. Regardless of the outcome, we are witnessing financial history being written in real time. The decisions Thailand makes over the next 2 years will influence how dozens of other nations approach the integration of traditional and digital finance. Thailand's fundamental thesis is straightforward. The future of finance isn't gold or cryptocurrency. It's gold and cryptocurrency, but only if both are transparent, regulated, and secure. By 2026, Thailand will operate Bitcoin ETFs, Ethereum ETFs, tokenized gold, tokenized bonds, and a comprehensive surveillance system capable of tracking every dollar, every gold bar, and every digital token moving through their economy. This system forces a fundamental trade-off: less financial privacy, in exchange for greater security and economic stability. Different nations will draw different conclusions. Some will see a model worth emulating, a way to harness digital innovation, while preventing crime. Others will view it as excessive government intrusion into personal financial decisions. The verdict on Thailand's experiment won't be clear for years. But one thing is certain: this small Southeast Asian nation is pioneering an approach that larger economies are watching very carefully. The global financial system is being rebuilt right now, and Thailand is writing one possible chapter of that future.